Welcome to the first edition of In Our Park, where specials teachers from Innocademy and Innocademy Allegan campus come together to offer nature-rich experiences remotely. The Park Passport is an awesome reference that describes 15 parks that you may or may not be familiar with. And if you visit all 15 this year, you can turn in your packet to get some amazing rewards, including a $50 gift certificate to Dick's Sporting Goods. That's why I'm here at Rabbit River Preserve, number 3 on your passport if you're following along. And I have never been here before, but let me tell you, it's amazing. My wife and I have walked these trails and overlooked the overlooks and checked out some of the local wildlife. I hope you get a chance to check it out soon too. This is a great place to take a seat and listen to nature. Check out the swampy Rabbit River. All around there's these giant evergreen trees. This one's called a hemlock. These Easter egg looking things are actually called trout lilies. Soon they'll have a bright yellow flower that pops up. Check out these giant white pines. Here the river's flowing faster. The dead leaves on this beech tree look like ghosts in the forest.
Okay, here's what I like to be doing. This is my greenhouse, and I'm growing all these plants.
Hi everyone, here's my nature spot. It's a pile of horse manure.
Innocademy, more like Innojafaring. Get it? Because we're remote learning, we're not near, we're far. So lots of things are different right now. Many of you are probably missing out on opportunities to see friends and even teachers. You probably have already done everything that you could possibly do at home and you're getting a little bored. Well, that is why we're here. We want to get you out of the house.
But Mr. Chad, they said we can't leave our house.
That's not quite right. We can still explore nature, whether that's at home or at a local park. But the rules have changed a little bit, so today's lesson is on exploring park etiquette. Etiquette? That doesn't sound like an engineering word. You're right about that. In fact, I had to look up even how to spell the word correctly. But the word mostly means process, how we do what we do. And that is something we all definitely know something about. Your family challenge is to come up with your own list of rules that you will follow when you go to the park. Now, some of the rules at the park are listed, and we all must follow those. But there might be a few extras that your family wants to create. Let's first look at the must-do list, and then you can come up with your own. Number 1. Bathrooms are closed, so remember to go before you go. Number 2. This is a tough one, but remember the playgrounds are closed, so you can't swing on the swings or slide on the slide or even monkey on the bars. Sorry guys, but we have to say, keep monkeys off. Number 3. Remember to keep 6 feet of distance between you and other people who might be sharing the trails. Number 4. Either don't take anything with you, or remember to take everything back out with you from the park. Number 5. Yeah, sorry, but don't meet up with other families or other friends to come to the park with you. Share your stories in your next week's Zoom with your teacher.
Number 6.
If the parking lot is half full or more, remember to find a new park. Half full is too full. Think about other rules you might want to add as well. Things like, do you want to touch the railings when you're there? Do you want your family to wear a mask or a scarf? Should you wear gloves? Our family's added rule is that we want our kids to be wanderers, not whiners, so keep it positive. Now that you know your family park etiquette, get outside and enjoy the parks. Don't forget to share your family etiquette on the Innocademy Parent Facebook page.
Hey friends, welcome to Exploring with Miss Emily. This week I have 2 art activities planned for you. Are you ready? So the first activity I have for you this week is to measure out things around your house that's about 6 feet long. So in a minute, I am going to walk around my house and try to find something that's 6 feet long. You're gonna need a measuring tape. It can be one like this, a utility measuring tape, or it can be a sewing measuring tape, whatever you have around that you want to use to measure something that is about 6 feet long. Why do we want to know things that are 6 feet long? Because that's about how far you need to be away from people when you start exploring in the parks. So let's get started measuring.
Is this banana 6 feet?
Let's see.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, hello? Yep, sorry, I'm busy right now. Nope, that's definitely not 6 feet.
Wait, is that 6 feet?
This?
Yeah.
How are you doing this?
Let's just measure it. Oh, 4 inches.
Mom, do you think Honey's 6 feet?
Let's check. No, she's not even 2 feet.
Is this 6 feet tall? Help me out. Oh wow, that's 8 feet. That's pretty tall. Is this 6 feet? It is! Yay!
Yay!
This is about how far apart you need to be. This is about 6 feet.
Hi. So what did you find at your house that's about 6 feet long? Now you know about how far you need to stay away from people when you're in the park or even around in your neighborhood, just so you can stay healthy and not get sick. All right, that was activity number 1. Time for art activity number 2. All right, the second activity I have for you this week is to create a nature puzzle. For this, you will need either a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper would work fine too, a marker or a pen. The first thing that you'll need to do is to think of the shape of something that you would like your puzzle to be. So I chose a tulip because I'm sad that we're not gonna have tulip time this year. So I chose a tulip for my shape. You might want to choose something more complicated if you're an older friend. So middle school friends, think of a shape of something that's a little bit more challenging for you to draw. And younger friends, you might want to think of a simple shape like I did. I chose a flower. You might want to choose a heart or something simple. It could even be a circle or a triangle. You will draw an outline of your shape. And older friends, you know that an outline is called a contour line. Once you have your shape thought of and you drew it on your paper or your cardboard or whatever it is that you have, you are ready to go outside and start your nature puzzle. All right, so take your nature puzzle outside and you're ready to start looking for found objects of nature to fill your puzzle. Ooh, I have a good pile here. I've got some tree bark, I've got some leaves, I've got some rocks, sticks, all kinds of good stuff. Now I'm ready to start my puzzle. Now I'm just gonna start to fill in my puzzle with my found objects. And I'm just gonna kind of work along until I like it, and I can move things around. Ooh, I love how that leaf fills in the top part of that contour line of my tulip right there. Let's see if I can do that with the leaf on every spot. Ooh. It's fun because you can kind of play with the found objects and move them around a little bit until you get it just how you want it. I even found a little weed that I picked that I think I quite like that in there. So you're just gonna keep going until you have the whole space filled. Friends, I hope you enjoyed exploring with Miss Emily this week. Now over to you, Miss Hillary.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Miss Hillary, the part of the show where Miss Hillary comes out and sings a silly song. Now that you guys have written your family compact, it's time to take it to the next level. You might be thinking to yourself, Miss Hillary, how am I going to remember all of these rules for going to the park? I have a solution for you. Turn it into a song. We all know what it's like to have a song stuck in our heads. It goes over and over and over and over. Well, what a great way to remember your rules. Now, here's one for an example. We are playing outside. We're playing outside. We're playing outside, outside. We are playing outside. We're playing outside. We're playing outside today. Oh, we are learning outside. We're learning outside. We're learning outside, outside. We are learning outside. We're learning outside. We're learning outside. We're learning right now. Right now. Right now, right now. Go to the bathroom before you leave. Don't use the bathroom before you have germs. Don't use the playground 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 before you have We are playing outside. We're playing outside. We're playing outside, outside. We are playing outside. We're playing outside. We're playing outside today. Oh, we are learning outside. We're learning outside. We're learning outside, outside. We are learning outside. We're learning outside. We're learning outside. We're learning right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Now you also might be thinking, Miss Hillary, I don't know how to write a song. I don't have instruments at home. Ugh, how do I write a melody? Well, just take a song that everybody in your family knows and swap out the words. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Mary had a little lamb. Don't make it so tricky. Think of repeating words. Think of rhyming words. And I'm sure that with all of the brain power in your family, you guys could come up with something really cool. In fact, I think you could come up with something so cool that I'd really like you to send me what you come up with. Either send your lyrics to me at hillary.schmidt@innocademy.com, or even better yet, send me a video. I would love to see your smiling faces singing your family songs. One more tip. Use the template in this week's special packet to help your family write your song. Happy songwriting!
Hi, welcome to Fitness Fridays with Miss Katie. To begin our Fitness Fridays, we're going to start with a really fun family scavenger hunt you can do with your whole family this week. So pull up your ODC Park Passport and find a local park where you can go explore and have some fun. Each of you will get a scavenger hunt that looks just like this, with lots of different things for you to find and explore. Included in the scavenger hunt are the 6 rules that Mr. Chad talked about. Remember, no playgrounds, no bathrooms. Make sure you keep that 6 feet apart, and a couple other things as well. So get out there and have some fun this week. See if you can find some animals on your nature walk with your family. Remember to stand 6 feet apart. See if you can find something 6 feet long. A stick that looks like the letter Y. Remember, leave only your footprints behind.
Find the letter J.
Find a stick that looks like the letter J. The playgrounds look fun, but remember, stay off the playground, but see if you can find one for your scavenger hunt to check off. To find some feathers, what animal do you think these are from? Find a tree that's starting to bud.
Count how many rocks you can find.
Remember, if the parking lot is over half full, find a new park to go to this week. This week I did my scavenger hunt at Huizinga Park, but you can do any of the other ones as well on that passport, or even in your backyard or in your neighborhood. Remember, not everything on this list will be at every park, so do your best and check off the ones that you see.
Here's an up-close look at your scavenger hunt. You are going to be looking for so many different things, such as a spider web, flowers, clouds, and while looking up high, look to see if there's any birds' nests in any of the trees, animal footprints, berries growing on a tree, water, sand, feathers, and then try to decide what animal those feathers came from. A brown leaf and a red leaf, acorns. See how many rocks you can find, different types of birds, and then see if you can find something that you thought was very interesting.
I hope you have fun. I'll see you next week. Miss you. Bye.
I am just taking this video at one of my favorite places, which is a beach in Michigan, kind of near Saugatuck.
I just wanted to quick share with you the nest that is always above my front doorstep. And there is a mama robin who, man, she will dive bomb me.
Where in the world is Ms. Sharon?
Hello everybody. I hear you've been visiting parks lately. Well, we're going to visit another park. Only this park is not in Holland, it's not in Zealand, it's in Spain. That's the country we're going to be visiting. And Spain is right here. Kind of far away from Africa. It's pretty far away from us. We live over here in Michigan. So Spain is kind of along the coast of the ocean over here. And the name of the park that we're going to be going to is Park Güell. And Park Güell is designed by an artist named Antoni Gaudí. Antoni Gaudí, and he lived around 1850 to about 1910, not real long. The movie that I would like you to look at to find out more about Park Güell is called Maddie and Dada Gaudí. So that's about him. It also shows you a lot about the park. And it takes only 7 minutes, but I want you to look at that on your own. But I will show you a picture of the park from one side anyway. And you can kind of see the bottom is a big wall. Well, that wall goes on and on and on and on, and it kind of wiggles back and forth. And in the movie, the Maddie and Dada movie, they'll show you more of that wall and what it looks like. And then you can see the different kinds of buildings there. They're probably buildings almost look like gingerbread shapes. But Gaudí was a guy who did things differently. He was called a modernist, and he was trying all kinds of different shapes that other artists hadn't tried before. Now, there's one part of this park that was my favorite part to visit, and it has a giant salamander. And here's a picture of my giant salamander that I saw when I was there. It's about 7 feet long, maybe 4 or 5 feet wide, and it's kind of like coming down a staircase. And in the Maddie and Dada movie, you will see this beautiful salamander. Now, the salamander is made out of mosaics, which are little tiny pieces of pottery and ceramic ware that's been broken up. Now, I made one myself just to show you what a mosaic looks like. Here it is. You can see all of those pieces that I took dishes and I smashed them up with a hammer and then put them back into a tray with grout. The little black gray stuff that's around the edges is called grout. Now, you're not going to smash your parents' dishes. We're going to make ours with magazine pictures or cereal box colors or even newspaper colors that we use. We're going to cut up shapes out of some kind of paper material. But we're not going to do flowers. We're going to do the salamander. So we have to create a gaudy salamander. So here's what you need. You need things that you have at home. You need a paper bag, a big one like this. And you're going to cut part of it out. Now you could have your mom, your dad, or your brothers or sisters help you cut this out, but we want something nice and big that we can use. So I'm going to put it over here, and I think I'll put it right in the middle so we can see it. There's one here. I'll put a piece of tape here. This is just like a giant piece of paper. Now you can use, if you don't have a brown paper bag, you can cut up cardboard, or you can cut up anything that you have. If you don't have it, you can even glue pieces of white paper together to make it a little bigger. I don't want it so tiny because we have to cut pieces out, and we'd have to cut real little tiny pieces if you made them real tiny. So here's how you make a salamander. This week we're going to make the salamander. Next week we're going to put the mosaic tile shapes on. So first thing I usually start with on the animals is some kind of a body, right? So we're going to start with the head, and we're going to start at this end of our paper. If we start in the middle, we're going to run out of room. So make sure you start over on the edge, and you're going to make a bump. It's kind of like the head, and then another bump like this. So it kind of looks like that. This is the bump at the top that's going to be part of his eye on the other side. His eye is going to be way down here. You make an eye, and you can make his mouth. So you've got salamander head on there now. Now we're going to add the back. And I think I'll put another piece of tape on just to hold it down better. There is a bump, a curve. Just think of a gentle curve. You don't want a real big curve, but just kind of going about halfway across the paper like that. So we still have space left here that we probably will need for a tail. So you've got his back on there. Now we're going to add two legs, the front legs. And their little fingers are kind of like, they are kind of like people's fingers. They're not real pointy and sharp. So we're going to put one here at the front that's in the back, and that's going to be a little one. So it's just going to have a little shape that goes like this. That's the front. And then we're going to put the other front leg that's down here. We're going to kind of make it bigger. So it goes like this. Just a little bit bigger. We got to give him some fingers on there too. Just like we did in the other one. So we got some fingers. So now we're missing a little bit of his neck. So you got to put a little connector here to connect it with that back leg. So, starting to look like a salamander? I think so. Okay, now we're going to do his belly, and the belly actually conforms to the same shape as his back. We don't want to make a big belly like this. He would be way overweight. So, for this salamander, we're going to go like this, so it kind of follows the same curve that you have up here. But now, we need to put on the back legs. And back legs are usually a little bigger than front legs. So we're going to put one here. And then we're going to give him some toes, just like we did on the other one. And we're only going to see part of his back leg, just like we only saw part of his front leg. So we're not going to put a lot back here. We're just going to put just a little bit of his leg back there. So we just see part of it. Now, something is missing on our salamander. What do you think it might be? If you said tail, you are right. So we're going to try to make the tail taper all the way to the edge. That's an art word that we've used a lot. Like when we make tree branches, they start out fat and then they get skinny. Well, we're going to do the same thing with this guy. We could make his tail straight, or we could make it curved. But you want to go down almost all the way to the end. Remember, it's skinnier down here, and it's going to get a little bit fatter, a little bit fatter, a little bit fatter, a little bit fatter as it goes. So that will be your model for your salamander. So next week when you come and listen to this, I'll show you how to do the mosaic. And we're going to still be in Spain. And I hope everybody gets to see Maddie and Dada, because they really have a nice adventure with this salamander. He's kind of sneaky in the movie. And I've showed you some Maddie and Dada movies before, so some of you will recognize the characters. So hope to see you next time.
All right, we've come to the end, and here it is, your moment of Ben.
Bienvenidos to a moment, Senor Ben. Yes, school!